right, folks, Congressional Black Caucus. The Congressional Black Caucus. Well, they're supposed to meet with President Donald Trump. Well, a letter was sent to them by the Honorable Omarosa Manigault, asking for a meeting, a second meeting with the Congressional Black Caucus. And Chairman Senator Richmond replied, we're good, we're good. Of course, they previously met with Trump, gave him a 130-page document outlining their issues and concerns, showing him, when he said, of course, black folks, what the hell do you have to lose by voting for him? They showed them exactly what they would have to lose. Let's talk about this right now with Michigan Congresswoman Brenda Lawrence, who joins us. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Great. So, look, normally members of Congress wouldn't mind meeting with the president, but looking at that letter from Chairman Richmond, he said, looking at Trump's budget, looking at AG Attorney General Jeff Sessions, looking at what they're doing, how they're pulling back on civil rights left and right, the agenda of the Black Caucus has been grossly ignored by Trump. So why have a second meeting?
The issue here is that we responded when the president offered a meeting. The executive board met with the president. Very, very good dialogue explaining. You asked the question, what do we have to lose? We went step by step, point by point. Mr. President, if your budget you're proposing, it has a negative impact, not only on Black America, but also on poor America. This agenda that you're pushing negatively impacts our community.
Well, he did say yesterday he really prefers rich people to be running agencies because I don't really want a poor person.
But you know, that
was quite dismissive of the president about people who are actually in this country who are white or black or Hispanic or whatever. But, you know, he only likes rich people.
You know, we're having a lot of discussion about Donald Trump, and I'm telling people now, like my grandmother used to tell me, it's not what you say, it's what you do. If you look at the actions of this current administration, not being responsive, being dismissive, closing doors, and actually legislating major legislation, and not having a conversation, not even having a conversation, bring it to the floor. This has been an administration that has been dismissive, that has, what do I take when we send letters, we meet with you? You made a promise to us that we would meet with your administration, that you would follow up on these issues. Nothing. And so we took it to the whole caucus. This was not a dictator decision. We took it to the caucus and we voted majority that until this president starts responding, we want to work. The Congressional Black Caucus has very serious issues in America, and we don't want to keep having photo ops and sitting in the Oval Office. We want to work. Why hasn't your Secretary of Education? Education is one of the top priorities for the Black Caucus. Nothing. No phone call, no response, no scheduled meeting.
Well, in fact,
the only person that's talked to us is the Honorable Omarosa.
And in fact, the Trump administration has made it clear to Democrats, unless you're the chair of a committee, no need to really respond to any request.
What are we sent to Congress for? Why do we have an elected president? And that is to work and take care of the issues that are at hand.
Not king, elected president.
And repeatedly. Right now, this is horrific. People are talking about building a wall. How do you have an elected body take select number of members, close the door, and legislate something that's going to affect my life, my health, of every American in this country? And the audacity, not even talk to your own party.
In fact, speaking of that, Melody, you made a point earlier about health care and also crossing the aisle. This is why I exposed what you said as a lie. You have a Senate working group writing the health care bill, 13 members.
Yes.
But members of the very group, Mike Lee of Utah says, I don't even know what's in it. So how can you say Democrats should cross the aisle to work with Republicans on health care when Republicans aren't even working with Republicans on their very bill? They're not even going to see the bill until today at 9:30 a.m. And Lee is a member of the group that's supposed to be writing the bill. So if Republicans will work with Republicans, how do you think they can work with Democrats?
Are you actually saying that you have a problem with this when you all passed an immense health care bill without reading it?
I'm sorry.
And then recommended that other people vote for the bill without reading the bill to find out what was in it?
We have 15 months of national debate on the Affordable Care Act? Yes or no?
But when it comes to
Melanie, yes or
but
no?
when it comes to
Melanie, yes or no?
Yes,
We did.
and didn't get one Republican vote.
Did President Barack,
not one Republican
President Barack Obama actually hold a national sit-down with Republicans on the health care?
He did, with his ears closed.
Melanie, yes or
with
no?
His ears closed.
Melanie,
he did,
Melanie,
but if he
did
didn't
President-
take up any of the
Melanie,
recommendations,
Melanie,
what does it matter?
Melanie, did President
It
Barack
does
Obama,
matter. It
did
does
President Barack
matter. It
Obama
does
go
matter.
to the
It does
Republican
matter.
If I ask
conference?
you what you think, and
Melanie.
you just pointed that out a moment ago, that your complaint was that President Trump didn't do anything, didn't consider anything that the Black Caucus suggested in their 130-page document in the 5 months that he's been in office. But you don't have a problem with President Obama passing a health care bill without one Republican vote, without anything that the Republicans
Ray, go ahead.
suggested.
Ray, go ahead.
You have no problem
Ray,
with
go
that,
ahead.
though.
Congresswoman, excuse me just for 1 second. A senior Obama administration staffer just tweeted yesterday that the Affordable Care Act had over 150 Republican amendments that were passed.
150 amendments.
Thank you.
150.
Nancy Pelosi stated that if you want to know what's in the complete Affordable Care Act, you have to pass the bill first, and then you can read it.
And that was stupid.
So
That was a stupid
don't.
thing to say.
So
No, that
don't.
was stupid.
That was a stupid thing to say.
So-
Yeah, we called it stupid
So what
then.
Melanie
And we're
is
calling
saying
it stupid
is,
now.
it takes a lot of hubris to now be all ticked off at Donald Trump
Exactly.
when Nancy Pelosi.
Hold up.
You know what?
Hold
You know
up.
what?
Does it
And
take,
that bill had
does it
you
take
can't
hubris?
see what's in
Does
it
it take
until
hubris?
after you
Does it
pay-
take
after-
hubris? Does it take hubris when Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell stood there and said, "How dare you pass a bill without anybody reading it?" And he's doing the exact same thing. Are you telling me when Senator John McCain criticized him for the same thing? When you have Ben Sasse? Well, no, he said it. There's video of Mitch McConnell
just said-
saying it.
What
But
I'm saying is, yes, that is wrong.
Okay,
That is
so
wrong.
if it's wrong,
But
then-
for folks on the left to
If
now
it's
all of
wrong-
a sudden
no,
be
no,
having
no,
an
no, 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 no.
aneurysm
If
over
I
the
can-
same thing.
if I can
Go
ask
ahead.
this
Lord
question.
Jesus.
If I can ask this question. I wasn't in Congress when President Obama passed and the Congress passed it. I'm here now. And I'm saying today, what is happening in this country affects the lives of all of us. For us to continuously reflect back to what President Obama does, when do we have the political courage to do what's right now?
We need to
I'm
do what's right.
tired
But
of
what I'm
hearing
saying is it takes
about
a
what
lot of
happened in
guys
the past.
to complain
I'm trying
about
to
what's
engage
happening
and do the
now
right
when
thing
Ralph
now.
is
I want to know.
I want to do
Ralph,
it now.
thing.
I want
Let's
to
talk
know.
about now.
I want to know, Ralph, when the CBC met with Trump, talked about criminal justice reform, when they met with him talking about education, when they met with him talking about civil rights, he is gutting civil rights offices across federal agencies. We see what's happening.
Consolidating.
I'm sorry. That was very inappropriate, but I had to laugh out loud because over several pieces of the conversation you've offered thus far, Ralph, have been factually inaccurate. And the part that I say factually inaccurate is that you talk about a quid pro quo or a lack of hubris among those on the left, when specifically we offer the fact that 150 Republican amendments were included, yet these Republican senators and congressmen did not vote for it themselves. So the hubris that you allude to and the one-for-one that you allude to is not necessarily one-to-one. It's not apples to oranges, not apples to apples. It's apples to fried chicken.
No, it's not.
Congresswoman, go ahead. Congresswoman, final comment.
The final comment.
I don't know what was in the water down there. But one, if you can't stay on topic and address the actual issue, again, he hasn't dealt with the issues they presented. So why meet again?
So I want
to
to bring up, and this
You got
is
30
very
seconds.
clear
Go
right
ahead.
now. When we talk about what happened with that shooting and how did the discourse elevate to this level of anger to whatever motivated this person, we cannot continue in America to every time there's something wrong reflect that someone else did it, or you feel that, I keep hearing about Obama. We have a president right now that we should hold accountable, that we should be able to work with. We sat at the table with this man and looked him eye to eye as the president of the United States and said, these are the issues, with no response. And I'm not even going to talk about it interpreting it as being disrespectful. I'm saying we need to get to work. This president has not, and we are still sitting at the table ready to work with this president.
Congresswoman,
But
we appreciate
when
it. Thank you
you're
so very much.
Weekdays on TV One.
I will never lie to you.
Oh my God.
Roland Martin.
He doesn't want to talk to us. He wants to ignore us.
Uncensored.
Hell no. That ain't gonna cut it, boo.
Unapologetic.
No, that is fundamentally false. You are wrong.
Unfiltered.
He wants an America where we all look alike
He ain't talking about black people.
Unrelenting.
You better go work out, because you got a fight on your hands.
NewsOne Now with Roland Martin. Weekdays at 7 a.m. on TV 1.